Did you see Ann Curry's special report? I was somewhat dismayed that she had a global warming denier on. This guy who wrote the climate fix. But she also had Jason Box on, who we interviewed. He's been on this program. He was on our TV show, and part of that interview got into the video that we did that you can see over at lasthours.org. And let me encourage you again, if you haven't seen that or if you haven't shared it with as many people as possible, lasthours.org is the website. And you can see the video, or you can go over to YouTube and just plug in Last Hours and it'll come up. And, you know, I've been talking about this for a while now. And the media is sort of starting to catch up. So ABC News, Ann Curry did this special report, and she, say what? NBC News. Oh, all the better. She went up to the Arctic Ocean and interviewed an Inuit elder. Their community is falling apart. He's like, you are poisoning our land, and we're not the ones who are burning the fossil fuels. It's you guys. And we can't get our food anymore. I mean, we are changing the earth so dramatically. And these changes they're coming home fast. Everybody's been sitting around going, oh, yeah, the IPCC says 2100, it's going to be bad by 21. No, and now they're saying 15 years from now will be may well be a point of no return. And of course, they're always super conservative. I mean, it might be 5 years from now that we hit a point of no return. We need to put a price on carbon now. Step one, at least $100 a ton carbon tax, 100% of which gets cycled back to the consumers, who will, which will create an enormous amount of demand for non-carbon sources of energy. Number two thing we should do, we should outlaw wall warts. Wall warts, there's a real interesting little weird story behind this that was told to me by an engineer back at Clear Channel in Portland. I didn't even know this. But I don't know if you've noticed, but 10, 15, 20 years ago, you buy a radio, you plug it into the wall, you turn it on, it comes on, you turn it off, it goes off. Right? A radio, you fill in the blank, right? A clock radio, a small appliance. Now, when you buy these things, you get these wall warts. You get a little transformer that plugs into the wall with a wire that goes to the device. And because that transformer is plugged into the wall all the time, whether the device is on or not, you're continuously drawing power. And by some estimates, between 10 and 15% of all the electricity produced in the United States is wasted because of these wall warts. These little transformers that are plugged into the wall. Now, why did all of a sudden companies start producing these? Because the standard, and I forget the acronym of the organization, but there's an organization that basically says this electronic device is safe to sell. And you'll see their little acronym, their little mark on things. They concluded back 10, 15, 20 years ago that they would no longer need to certify devices that did not contain internal power supplies. So if the power supply was external to the device, then the manufacturer didn't have to go through the cost and expense of getting the device certified. So everybody started making devices that operated with external power supplies, the external power supply being the wall wart. If it had an internal power supply, when you turn it on, it would turn on. But with an external power supply, it's always on, or at least the power supply is. And so the first thing, number one, charge carbon. Number two, outlaw wall warts. Right? Just change those standards back to say, you've got to, if you want to certify something electronic, you got to certify it whether the power supply is external or internal. I realize it sounds, subtle, nuanced, geeky, wonky, whatever. But we're talking about billions of tons of carbon. being emitted into the atmosphere. Every couple of days, presumably, or every few weeks, because of these damn wall warts. And in other countries, by and large, they don't have them because they don't have this weird little perverse incentive in the law. In the UK, your electrical outlet by the wall has an on-off switch on it. You turn on the outlet before you plug things into it. Or you turn it off before you turn it off, plug things in, turn it on, turn it off. So we need to do that. We need to take all of our subsidies for oil and we need to put them behind non-fossil fuel energy sources. And we need to say to the oil companies that money that we are spending protecting your pipelines with our police and our Department of Natural Resources of all the various states, protecting your shipping lanes with our Navy and our Air Force, we are going to charge you for that. And we're going to get back 60, 70, 80, 90 billion dollars out of our defense budget and our national resources budget for the cost of all these things. And the land that you are running these things over that we took and gave to you by eminent domain, we're going to start charging you for that too. So you want to have a pipeline? Fine. It's going to cost you a lot. So these are a few starting points. And of course have the president just say no to Keystone XL. So, it's very, very simple things. 27 minutes past the hour. Thom Hartmann here with you. We'll be back with your calls right after this. I see a number of people want to get in on this conversation. And also this issue about McCutcheon, it really wasn't about campaign contributions. It really was about what constitutes corruption.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 866-987-THOM.
How much money do you have to give a politician before you start corrupting the process? I would say fairly little.